groovy.
Welcome to Horror After Midnight. I'm your host, KC, joined by Slinky Jallo and the cast from Halloween Kills. Can y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sure. And you guys may have seen me before on one of my other interviews with these fine gentlemen. And I am Belisa Lay, and I am the Iron Maiden of Haddonfield. And very happy to be here tonight. And I've invited a couple of my friends that were part of the mob and part of the hospital scenes to participate tonight, and it's all yours.
Go ahead, big boy.
Well, my name is Ron Blake. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina. I had a featured role as an orderly, Big Williams, in the movie. I was booked for 10 days, but they booted me off at the 9th day because they said I had too much camera time. I was actually booted off, Clark, with Rob Fortunato.
Yeah.
He had sat out that last day for hours out in holding, talking to each other about what we were going to do. Are we going to quit doing this? I talked Chris T.C. Edge out of quitting. Great guy, great actor. Rob Fortunato as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to shout out to Keith Dooley, one of my good friends. He's kind of in my inner circle as well, as long as with Rob. But it was kind of I was like, what's going on? Teddy was like, he's like, Ron, you and Rob, you got to FO the set. I was like, what? Are we in trouble? He's like, you guys got way too much camera time, man. But a lot of stuff that we did got cut, which I'm hoping to see in the director's cut. There's actually one really cool scene where the steady cam comes up, where the mental patient, he comes walking up and it comes right in my face, and Teddy's like, look, I want you to look right down that lens and look like you've seen a ghost. I was like, okay, we did that. It wasn't there. And one other scene in that movie which struck me, there was a tight scene with the camera with Jamie Lee coming out of the hospital room with her butcher knife. And the camera was between me and Jamie Lee so tight that I actually smacked her shoulder really hard. And when we cut, she was like, who smacked my shoulder? I was like, oh my God, I'm done. I was like, Miss Curtis, it was me. I'm so sorry. I had an accident. She said, no, keep doing it. But it was brilliant. I don't know. It seemed like 3 times. And she said, I guarantee that shot's going in the movie. It didn't make it.
Wow.
And then I asked Clark to come on, because Clark actually was with me the whole time that I played part of Tommy's mob. And Clark has some great insights as well. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Clark, and then we're going to start watching the movie together.
I'm excited. Definitely excited. This is my first horror flick. I did an independent thing where I was a zombie and I got my head blown off in Atlanta, which was a lot of fun with makeup and all that stuff. Now, what I do for Halloween Kills, by the way, my name is Clark Willis, and I live also in Greenville, North Carolina. I work for about 6 radio stations here, so I do a lot of different things and in radio, from commercials to on-air personality to going live at certain places. But juggling that movie and going to a morning show, working nights, like 13-hour nights, and going straight to hey, good morning, and holding that knowledge of Halloween Kills in here and here was hard, but I did it, and all the stuff that I've been involved in with the movie, because you're gonna meet people, you're gonna have a great time, and you're gonna learn things like how people get killed, how to scream, and it's always wonderful food on the set. I used to joke and say, hey, I'm just here for the food. You want to kill me last so I can eat good. But I'm known as the guy that joins the mob with her, and after 40 years, people are tired of Michael Myers' reign of horror, terror, and it's time to take back our city, and we're going to do the best we can without giving any details away. So there you go.
Great.
in a nutshell.
No, this is great. Thank you guys for coming and doing this. Like, sincerely.
Absolutely.
We get to hang out with the citizens of Haddonfield, man. This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if
so
I mentioned I had the hockey stick, so just in case. But yeah, I'm not a pro player back in the day. Didn't work out, so there you go.
It's awesome. Yeah, so whenever I'm gonna start the movie and we can get right into it.
Right on.
Yeah, so it's like you want to do like a countdown?
Yeah, let's see. We'll do everybody ready? 3,
Yep.
2, 1. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Right.
I wanted to ask you guys one question.
Sure.
What was it like the first time you guys saw Michael Myers on set? Like, all done up.
Oh, I can. For me, it was absolute fear, and that mask itself, even without a head in it, even without movement, is extremely scary. So, I don't know what you guys thought about it, but it seemed very real to me. Very, very real.
You know, I was standing maybe 7 feet away from him, and I was waiting for them to yell. I heard rolling, and it seemed like forever for the word action. And I go, you know, as a kid, I was so scared to go from the living room to my bedroom because all the lights were turned off. Now I'm actually standing in front of it. What do I do? And it was like, wow, this is the real deal. That's how it was for me. Yeah, it was kind of scary. It was because it took me back to being a kid. It definitely took me back to being a kid.
Yeah.
It was my horror movie.
So cool.
What about you, man?
Now, does it, I don't know, does it feel weird knowing you're a part of this franchise and you're forever going to be linked to Michael Myers? So,
well, for me, you know, you guys and I talked about it. It's like an unbelievable blessing, and you always do. You want to do your best, and you want to get noticed when you work hard, and you're in the moment, and people noticed, and it's crazy, but it is to think this is the end coming up, and it's the last movie that's ever supposedly going to be done. But you know, kind of like the old rock stars, do they ever really retire? No, they just die. So will it be Michael Myers, or will he perhaps spawn his seed and there'll be another, you know, Michael Jr. or something that comes about? But whoops, I may have spoiled the whole next movie.
well,
Sorry, I'm too old to bear a child, so it's not me.
the thing that's cool about the Halloween franchise is that I've said this a bunch of times. It's like the pick your own adventure kind of thing with the timeline.
Right.
Because it's like you can watch the first one, 2018, yours, or you can watch the original part 2. You can go and watch all the sequels, or you can just watch Halloween 3. There's like 5 or 6 different routes you can take with the Halloween franchise, and that
Right.
kind of makes it unique with horror flicks. It's pretty cool. Let's see. I had another question and I forgot it.
Well, I'll just, until you find that question, I watched or read a post yesterday about this guy who in succession over the last few days has watched every single movie with very few breaks. He said a little bit of nap time in between. And I unfortunately fell asleep before I could listen to his synopsis. But, you know, that's got to be a lot of blood and gore. And, you know, what's the body count on something like that? You know, it has to be pretty tremendous. But
it definitely lives up to the title for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, can't think. I'll remember it. You know, let's see. So yeah, we get to watch Halloween Kills with the cast. This is amazing.
Like,
I'm kind of like in awe at the moment, so I don't.
Hey, are you guys hearing Ronald okay? Ronald, I get kind of like a crackling with your voice. I don't know if you've got earplugs with a mic on it that you can use or not, but I don't know if you guys are picking him up, but I can hear Clark loud and clear.
hear me?
Clark's got
Okay.
that great radio voice.
Hey, live and local.
Marla,
Yeah, absolutely.
let me put my headphones on.
And I'm going to see if I'm at the same point in the film that you guys are in, which is the flashback scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm there.
Yeah, perfect. Which it was great to see that because I had missed a couple of the movies. You know, I saw the original one at the theater and about clawed people next to me that I didn't even know. One person on my left side, and I realized I had a hold of their arm and was just digging my fingernails into their arm.
Oh wow.
Can you
And
all hear me good?
slinking. Yes,
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
Much better. Perfect. Yeah.
See, it's neat when they do like flashbacks in these movies because like in the original Halloween, they don't follow Michael the entire time. You know,
Right.
they're following the other characters and blah blah blah. So you don't get to see what else he's doing, and it's cool. They kind of fill in the gaps to the lore, if you will. You know.
And then we didn't get a chance to meet these guys on the set. At least I didn't, because they were part of the flashback scene. But one of the nice things that that there was a lot of transformation of the neighborhood that was used, and dozens of people gave up their houses for weeks, if not a month or longer, for some of the houses to be transformed and others to have a difference from the original movie to the next movie and show those changes, and then also recreate the look from the other movies. So,
Right.
Some people got to have upgrades done to their houses for no cost at all, which was amazing. And
Yeah, and if it was my house, I'd have left it alone. Like this is nostalgia right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so cool. Like I'm never washing that blood off the front porch ever.
Let me ask you guys, what'd you think of when he attacked, that style from the late 70s of attacking somebody versus today?
Well, let's see. There's a lot of cool things that I like about the 78 version. I know it wasn't a stunt guy they put in the costume. It was a dancer. I think Nick Castle had a dancing background. So if you ever notice, when you watch Michael walk, he doesn't look like he's walking. He doesn't have a gait. It looks like he's floating.
wow.
Like he's just very light on his feet. And but he still pounces, man. Like he just he still does that
Sure
aggressive, like if I'm gonna yoke this guy out, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, it usually always goes for the throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I saw, and I don't want to give anything away, but there was definitely all right, come on, let's do some other body parts too, because you can, but I guess it's the great show of you can see the face and you can see the blood and the gore all at the same time.
Unlike you two, Belisa and Clark, I did not get to see Michael Myers one time.
No.
For
the
fact that we shot everything in the hospital scenes. Now I saw Will Patton. I remembered him back from Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I saw Jamie Lee, but I did not get to see Michael Myers, which was a disappointment.
Yeah, it's a big disappointment. It's
Yeah.
all right, man.
It was still cool.
Well, I mean, you got to see Jamie Lee. You got to see Laurie Strode.
Yeah,
man.
That's still pretty cool. I mean,
The funny
she's
thing
the original Scream Queen. So
yeah. She walked up to me on set and she's like, "And you are?" I was like, "Oh my God." So it got to the point where we started filming in the hospital scenes, and Teddy, he was like, "Does anybody have any hospital experience?" I was like,
well, Teddy,
yeah.
and let him know who Teddy is, because Teddy was our first assistant director.
Teddy is
Theodore.
A fantastic first AD. He was the
and
first
he's
AD
like
on
6'5" or 6'6", so you can't miss him.
And by the way,
amazing human being.
That guy has a photographic memory. He knew everybody's name on set. I mean, you know what he called me?
There were hundreds of us.
He called me Juan Valdez. He's like, hey, he said, "Hey, Juan Valdez, get over here. I want you over here. Go over here."
That's funny.
But it got to the point where I was like, I've got a medical background. I've worked in the ICU. I know trauma. So they're like, come on. And it got to the point where, David Gordon Green and Jamie Lee Curtis, they were calling me on the radio back to the set. They're like, get Ron back here. We need you to look at this scene and that scene. I mean, it was really cool. I was like, there was another doctor on set as well. He assisted with me as well. They wanted to know how the stretcher came into the emergency department. I was like, they pull the stretcher doesn't stay in the trauma room. You got, they roll him over to the trauma bed.
Right.
Will Patton's pants, I thought, needed to be cut up. When he was on the ambulance with the blood. I actually set that cardiac. When Jamie Lee's in the hospital room, the cardiac monitor. I set all the numbers on that, which was kind of cool. Worked a little bit with that anesthesia machine, the ventilator, because I'm a respiratory therapist.
Right on.
So nice. It was really cool. They kept calling me, and it got to the end, and they started hooting and hollering for me. They clapped for me, and I mean, it was really a nice feeling. They really treated me nice on that show, and that scene I did with Jamie Lee when she said that to me. David Gordon Green was in the control room looking at the monitor, and he popped his head out, and he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "take that as a compliment." I was like, "Oh, it's an honor, for her to say that to me." So just to watch her act, I mean, was phenomenal. I mean, she did not miss a beat. She was amazing. She's an amazing actress.
Well, she's like Hollywood royalty because of her parents.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that's like a fair trade, man. You were pretty tight with Jamie Lee.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I was actually talking to her, I mean, multiple times. It was really cool.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to know she's down to earth and stuff.
Yeah, she was very down to earth. And Teddy was like, "Look," he's like, "You need to give them your telephone number for." He's like, "You need to make YouTube videos and do medical technical advising."
Yeah,
I was like, I tried to get hired on with them, but I did some freebies.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
It's all good. I mean, I just really enjoyed being able to help them, for some of the scenes and.
Right.
And so you were considered featured background as well.
Yes,
correct, Ron?
I was booked the entire time as featured background as well. So.
And that pays you, what was that, a whopping $150 for 8 hours or $125 or something like that. And then you make time and a half per hour. And if you're a standard background, you usually make about $80 for 8 hours, and then $10 for or $8 for every other hour, and then time and a half. So it's you don't make money doing it, but you make memories, you make friends.
Oh, yes.
You may make your way up the ladder, or you may decide, I want to be part of the crew. I want to be part of the crew. I want to paint the sets. I want to be a greensman. And, that's a whole different side of it. But there's, or I want to be in film production. So there's a lot of opportunities.
And one of the things about doing background, a lot of people knock it down, but that's actually how I got started in acting. I still do it to this day. I've seen multiple people get upgraded to speaking roles. Look at Rob Fortunato. He's got numerous upgrades. He's got lines in several TV series. I mean, it's just a matter of time. You get to know the crew, and once the crew knows your work ethic, then they start using you more. They're like, hey, like movie, and one of the first ADs, I'm not going to say who it is, and, there was a backgrounder in there, and he was like, she just couldn't get it right. He's like, Ron, get in here. Get the F in here. He's like, you know what you're doing. Go do it. I mean, it was really cool. They get to know you and know what you're doing. I mean, I've worked a lot of independent films where I do act in that haven't been released yet. So, I'm not too good enough to do background. Primarily now I've been getting booked full-time stand-in, for some lead actors, which is really cool, which gets you a lot closer to the producers, to the directors. I mean, I made so many contacts on this last movie we just did. I mean, I talk to the actors now. They're like, hey, Ron, what's up? Hope you're doing well. I mean, it's just a matter of time,
Hey, Ron, share which film that was.
I don't know
know if I can share it yet or not.
Well, you could say that you were in it because
Yeah,
it's on
well,
IMDb. Anything that's on
yeah.
IMDb is public knowledge. So
It's
past
actually
that, yeah.
it's actually called Breakwater, and it does star Dermot and Darren Mann. Darren Mann stars with Dermot in it.
Dermot
And
Mulroney. Yeah.
there's a couple
Yeah.
other big actors in it, actresses. There's one big actress in it. So I don't want to spoil anything for that, but it was a really nice production. It's going to be a fantastic movie.
Right on.
So
Now, is that a Netflix project or?
I think I don't know where that's being distributed to
Okay.
yet. I think they'll probably do like Uncle Frank maybe,
Yeah.
and shop it around, pitch
Okay.
it. But
Yeah, Ron was in Uncle Frank with me, so I think that may have been the first time that we actually got to talk and become friends, and because it was a very small, intimate set with
Yes.
no more than 8 or 10 background, 12 black
Yes.
background on at a time. But I think we sat one day underneath these beautiful pecan trees out in Bolivia, North Carolina, for about 14 hours and never once got screen time at all that one day, but it makes for great conversation.
Yeah. But you know the funny thing on that, to
Oh,
this
wait a
day,
minute, hold on. Are you guys in the bar scene?
Yeah. We're
Okay.
in the bar.
So this is the Rusty Nail, and it's owned by Sandy Williams, and
There
I've
you
sung
go.
on that stage 100 times.
Yeah, you mentioned this
And-
is a real place. Right? This
Yes,
is real,
yes.
Okay.
So this place had no AC running for a long time because it's Sandy's little, love child. And this film allowed her to be able to put working air conditioning
Wow.
in the club, and she revamped the outside, so she's got an outside stage, and it was the funky little place to go to hear original and blues covers. So it's a great place. So in the background, a lot of our mutual friends are in the background, and I met the gentleman that's the bartender, and he has like 16 kids, and he lives in Atlanta with one of his baby mamas, and he's an amazing gentleman, and he was on the set for part of the fight scene, but I never did see him come back. And then you've got, which I was hoping Brian was going to be on today, but he was in the midst of working in a field in Oklahoma, but Brian's up at the bar, and it's hard to miss him at 6'5". But
you can't miss Brian at the bar.
no,
There he
no.
is
No,
right
you
now.
cannot.
Yeah. And he's a sweetheart of a guy. And then you've got Michael Mccauley that you'll see. You can definitely see, the Italian look to him. I worked on a couple projects with him of independent films. Great voice, great actor. He goes down to Atlanta a lot and works on projects. And you'll see him in the scene actually sitting with one of our friends from the mob. And then you'll see another good friend of ours, Teresa Shively, who worked on, God, she's probably worked on every project I've worked on in Wilmington. And
I just saw her the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. So Michael's sitting in the audience with a black leather jacket on and black t-shirt, and it's hard to kind of miss him in that moment.
All right. Now, were you guys fans of horror before this?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I figured it's a dumb question.
That's actually
Man,
my favorite genre. So, absolutely.
I watched Halloween when I was a kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I never would have imagined that I'd ever be in a Halloween movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just so surreal.
Yeah.
Man,
imagine-
what a guess. That's awesome.
You can imagine how many people had probably submitted for those roles. By the
Oh my
thousands.
God.
You
Well,
know?
Yeah, I was
how
going to
many-
ask you, like, did you know it was Halloween? Like, when you guys, like, auditioned or whatever to be in the movie? Or, did they just send you there? Like, oh, here's a flick.
I'll say yes, because somebody had told me, hey man, they're casting for Halloween Kills, but it's called Mob Rules.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what the working title was.
Yeah. It was a working title.
Yeah.
Mob Rules. So,
And let me tell you, I submitted, I bet you, at least 20 times. And I told my wife on the 20th time I submitted, I told my wife, I said, this is the last time I'm submitting. And I got that hit.
yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
I'm going to break away for a second and turn a light on. I opted for outside tonight. So you guys go ahead and
Okay.
I'll catch up in a second.
I do want to share this. Being in radio, I get a call that says, "Hey, would you mind? I have to do this thing down at the Wilmington College down there. What's the
UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, because Judd Nelson was in town. I had to interview him before I went to set. Yeah, man. And we had this after party somewhere. I don't remember the name of the place, but we sat and talked. We interviewed, and then when it was over, he was asking me if he's like, "Hey, do you know where? I heard you're working on Halloween Kills. Do you know where Anthony's staying?" So I was like, "No, man. I don't. I can pass him a note if you like." So I did, and that was how I broke the ice with Anthony Michael Hall. Was because he was sitting like right next to me, and I was like, "I hope you're a nice guy." And I said, "Hey, Anthony." And actually, I thought I heard somebody was calling him something else on set. I thought maybe they were calling him Michael. Like, I don't know if he likes being called Anthony, but or Mike. I think somebody called him Mike one time. So, and I just told him, I said, "Hey," I go, "long story short, I work in radio. I just interviewed Judd. That's why I was late to set because I had to work." And I said he wanted me to tell you to give him a call because he's in town, and he knew that too. So he verified that just by going, "Oh, he's in town for that play, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And so that's little. I said, I go, "Man, this is cool. I'm meeting two people in the same day from." So
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
cool.
and Weird Science.
Yeah, right on. Yeah,
He's
that's
awesome.
right. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
I think I said to him one night that I got pulled out of the scene. I think I said, "Hey, Russ, what's up?"
What'd he say? What'd he
He
say?
laughed.
Rusty.
Yeah, I got a chance when I was pulled. Teddy pulled me out and put me back where the actors were. He's like, "Just go back in that hole there," and Brackett came and sat next to me. So he sparked up a conversation with me, and it was kind of cool talking to him. I was like, "How long have you been acting?" And he was like, "I've pretty much been born into acting." I was like, "Wow." I mean, he's done a lot. I mean,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
sat
I
with
like
that
Charles
sheriff.
Cyphers. I like him.
This is a great
And
shot here with Michael.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I did like that shot. The firefighters coming out.
yeah.
Now, was that the one that they did on that back scene, that back lot? Because I never got to go to that back warehouse and set, but I was told that was supposed to be on that back set, like that whole neighborhood.
Oh, the
was-
stage. It was on the
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, that was redesigned, but I never got to look at it, but that was where they
I
had
didn't
the
either.
fire. Yeah. But it was a lot of work, and a lot of medical and emergency staff always standing by when they're doing scenes like this. So, and that's how that
With all the
mask,
blood and
yeah,
everything.
that mask gains so much character in this film, and it's not that opaque gray that we see. It's become melted and tormented, kind of like Michael's soul. And so you really see, I think that to me, the mask has come alive, and it's taken on part of his persona. And that's what makes it, to me, such a scary mask, versus those in past years. And,
Yeah, if you guys want, like I said, because to bring up the fireman thing, if you guys want to see behind the scenes, just YouTube Halloween stunts and 1, 2, and 3. You'll see the guy how he got lifted up like that, and then how we practice the saw thing into the shoulder. So, and how because I know your mind's telling you, well, how's that going to cut him? But you'll see how it actually does cut him, because the saw comes down like this, right? But he keeps continuing down so that the saw actually goes down like that. Because if you look at it at first, you're like, oh man, the guard is going to stop. But no, he keeps pushing it so that it cuts down. So that's how it's actually cut.
All right. Cool.
You'll see that.
Now I'm into the hospital scene, and I don't know if you guys are at that point or not.
Yeah, so right there,
Okay.
I did a scene. Oh my God, my feet hurt so bad. You see the ramp that goes up and around down into the hospital? Teddy had me running up that ramp as fast as I could, around, down into the hospital. You don't see me. Probably 30 takes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that is not a hospital. It's actually part of Cape Fear Community College.
Yep.
And it's down in the Old Town district of Wilmington, North Carolina. And so they transformed that whole part of the community college, and it's right down by the river and the convention center. So we would walk over onto set, and at times it was hard keeping people off of it. And then we noticed one night when we're setting up the scene that you'll see shortly, that there are people working and like cleaning the building on the other L side, the other angle of the building, watching and taking pictures and filming while we're filming. So I saw it, and I actually let Teddy, our first AD, know, and he got someone to go up into the building and stop them from filming. But we were accused, like on the set, of filming, and it really wasn't us. It was people that just found a way in because it's a very public town. And
Yeah.
here's those stairs right here with the actresses. And we also did a whole lot of running up, running down, running up, running down,
Yep.
falling up, falling down the steps, crazy things that went on.
Yeah.
And so you'll see some chaos that will ensue. And
Have you got to the operating room yet?
I'm actually inside the house with the black actress and the white guy in the house with the.
yeah,
that's where I'm at,
that's
too.
where I am too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, in the drone. And she was actually
Yeah, that's
in the previous movie to this one, in the first of the 3 trilogies.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
I
she
did
was.
not get a chance to meet either of them. And he's got a lot of credits to his name. Great actor.
When you tell people you were in this movie, like, do they kind of freak out a little bit?
For me, people don't believe me because they kind of look at
Yeah,
me like,
yeah.
what would you be doing in a movie like that? And I said, well, I'm the Iron Maiden. Haven't you
I
heard
brought
of
an
me?
iron to fight Michael Myers.
Yeah, exactly. And damn it to hell, I'm keeping this iron with me. Now, wherever I go, this one and its little mate are my protection. So I just have to figure out, I have to like wear, maybe a battery pack so I can, have it hot and, get people steamed with it. And, it's like half the time I don't even iron my own clothes anymore. So now that I have 2 beauties
Something,
from the
man.
70s,
A line
I
of
might
irons.
start. Yeah. But I don't know. It's also horror to me is more of a guy genre, and I know that that's breaking boundaries now to where there's probably just as many women. So I might get slapped or, called out for that. But in my era, as a child growing up, it wasn't the thing. You're looking for something that the cute guys are in, and it's going to be a funny, quirky love story.
Remember,
And I was the biggest chicken
women
anyway.
usually empowered by these movies.
Yes, well, that's
By the
exactly
end, when
what
they've
I
been
want to
through
do.
all the shit, they're fit
Yeah.
to be tied. And,
Yeah.
That's right.
And somebody asked me about that because I don't like violence, and I said I am not supporting violence. I am supporting people standing up for themselves in an intelligent, smart way. Make decisions that help yourself. I was in an abusive situation. I had to make my strength had to come from within, and a lot of prayer. And I had to go to other people for help because friends wouldn't even believe me. But you don't lash out in anger. You don't lash out in violence. You find a way to solve it with help, and you get the hell out of the way. And if it is, if you're out there and you're fighting for your neighbor, make a smart choice, stand up for someone, and bring calm, instead of save violence and save horror for the movies. And that's where we should be enjoying it, instead of in real life. But you guys tell your side. I'm the female. I'm the redheaded stepchild here.
Well, it's that safe scare. That's the thing. Like, for some reason, people love being scared.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have to ask you guys, what you guys think of the only scene where he stabbed somebody multiple times like that, the way he did, reaching back? and then stab, and then kind of like, hey, like kind of like that kid that's like, hey, how does this work? Let's see how this one works.
Yeah.
When he's killing that old man. That
Well,
Casey,
he's right in the
I
midst
saw
of
did
it.
Yeah. There's
So like, I don't know how to describe it, but that was disturbing a little bit.
Yeah.
It was.
Like
Yeah,
overkill.
kind of like, let me see how this one looks when it goes in here, and let me
Right.
stab another one there.
yeah.
And that's actually about to come up right now, at least on my screen. And it was, to me, it was calculated, and it just showed the depth at which his evil existed in his soul. You know, and not seeing some of the other movies in between, from me seeing the first one 40 years ago and seeing this one now, do you ever see the time of him in the insane asylum and what they're working on and his struggles? Or is that just, backstory that we've got to only imagine, what
Right.
really is in the psyche of Michael Myers?
I'm wondering if he's ever going to talk, ever.
Can he speak?
That was
Yeah.
only in the remake. In the original series, he never spoke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, from the time the opening scene happens to the end, he doesn't utter a word.
Right.
Now I'm back to the bar scene. Are you guys at that point too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's talking
So
on the
he-
phone.
Yeah. So again, it's the Rusty Nail, and anybody
goes
that's in
Brian.
Wilmington, anybody that's in Wilmington can go into the Rusty Nail and say hello to Sandy and have a shot of Jameson for me. That was always my favorite thing. That or Crown Royal. I was on the stage one night singing, and they wanted me to continue, and I was having a little trouble with my voice because people are allowed to smoke in there. And I called out for a Crown Royal. All of a sudden, I had 4 shots on stage, and I'm not that much of a drinker. And it was right after I left this abusive situation, and I had one, and I did another song, and then they wanted me to do another song because I love blues. Did another shot, sang another song, finished. I think I handed the 4th shot to the bass player. And I left there after a little while, and I was feeling really, really brave. And when I left that bad situation, I never got to take my mother's plants that were in the yard. I parked nearby. I went down the alleyway with my lights off. I closed the door quietly, got out of the truck, and I ripped those damn plants out of the yard, threw them into my pickup truck, and took off. And thus I got part of my mother's plants back.
That's awesome. It helped you turn into a ninja.
Exactly. So,
In stealth mode.
there's different times, like leaving a club in Georgetown, and I'm, their drinking age was 18 when I was coming up, and my sister was much older, and this guy starts following us. And I have a 70 Chevelle, and I take it down to low, and I start going around the curves because I realize my brake lights can be seen. So those are the crazy things that go through my mind, and when you're scared. But now, did anybody have close contact with the sheriff that's right here? I'm seeing the scenes of the aftermath of the firemen and the fire.
The main sheriff?
Yes.
Will Patton.
Yeah.
Just
What a
on
voice.
break.
Yeah.
Just on break outside.
Yeah.
With him and the little guy. Well, I don't even know what his name was in the movie. The patient that the crazy little guy that they're chasing.
Oh, yeah. And he or
He
his
passed
stand-in
away.
have passed away. One of them have passed away because they have a honorarium on the end of the
Yeah.
film
the
for
real guy,
him.
the real guy passed away in May.
Yes.
Oh,
That I can recall, his last name was Bacon. So
Ah,
I can't.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I felt really bad because when I remember being outside and he was smoking some cigarettes. And
He was
There's
having trouble
Brian.
breathing.
Okay, now
Ah,
we were going to have Alan Wyke on with us, but he couldn't make it tonight. And I just saw Alan in the scenes here in the club where they've got the newsreel showing, and now they're showing the patient that has escaped. Well, the 2 of them that have escaped. So there's a number of our friends that are in the background, and
That's pretty cool.
yeah. And then one of our other friends, David Pascua, is one of the newscasters, and he's supposed to be on. You see him a little bit on the TV as well during these
I think he was
flashback scenes.
wasn't he a
Oh, cool.
paramedic as well?
He was, and that's, you know, one of the great things when you aren't directly associated with one scene or another, you can be picked up, you know, to work in some other scenes too.
'Cause I know my
So,
friend Chris TC Edge, he was a paramedic. I think he's in that back ambulance scene.
yeah.
Rob Fortunato was a deputy, and
Mhm.
Keith Dooley as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And they changed nothing on the outside of the Rusty Nail. It's in a really old part of town, and you know, it's you always want to make sure you're looking around when you park outside of the Rusty Nail. So if there ever was a break,
Right.
and you know, the crazies do get in your car, that would be the place in Wilmington for that to really happen. So
Wow.
they picked the right place. And then I understand the actress here, beautiful actress. She is from the movie that preceded this, and they liked her look. They liked what she did, and she was able to really come out and do a wonderful job in this film. And I apologize, I'm going to have to look her name up. Some days it's hard to remember my own.
Which one are you referring to?
The gal that was the nurse, the beautiful nurse.
Yeah.
And I had the cast pulled up too, and I'm no disrespect to those amazing actresses and actors.
What'd you guys
But
think when you first saw? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
Oh,
Please do.
When you first saw the movie, what'd you guys think? Were you like, yeah, kick ass? Like,
We've been waiting for 2
I'd be freaking out
years.
if I was in this movie. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like
I drove to I had to drive to Ohio to go see it with my kid, and we got stuck at a mom and pop theater. So
Yep.
The whole movie was in 1978. But we actually liked it, but then because the tickets were sold out, so we said, all right, so tomorrow we'll go see it again, and we did get a different perspective of the movie. We liked it even more because sound was obviously a factor, widescreen was a factor, and I kid you not, guys, we got stuck going to a horrible theater that it was a different experience, and we knew that it was going to be even better once we saw it the way we should have saw it.
right.
Yeah.
And tickets were sold out too, and that was kind of a
Great.
cool feeling. I remember leaning over and I was like, "Hey, Brandon," I go, "How crazy is that they have no idea that I'm in this movie?" How cool! I go, "It's kind of cool."
Yeah. Well, the second
was
time
cool.
that I went, we were meeting up with some other friends, and I was speaking to the young man behind the counter getting popcorn and a beer, because you could get a beer at this theater. And I told him I was in it, and he comped my ticket. So I was like, that was Curtis. So I made sure that I took a picture with him and thanked him a lot for that. But that's so far my number one bonus for being on this film was a free ticket to go see Halloween Kills the second time. So
Hey, Clark.
Oh, nice.
Clark, do you think we could get a private screening room at AMC?
Yeah, we should. I probably have some pull.
Let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, all right. You know, I've actually thought about going up there and talking to the manager to see.
I almost stopped by today to do that.
And see if I can see if they can pause it where, in that street and take a picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I might actually do that.
That would be cool. Let me know if you line something up. I'll meet you over there.
Yeah, I definitely will, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was hoping that Wilmington was going to have a premiere, because there was an international premiere 2 weeks prior to the opening in the U.S. And as far as I know, I couldn't find anything about a premiere, and maybe the fact that it, did take an extra year for it to come to the theaters and be released. But I was hoping for that, because I was going to go back to Wilmington and be a part of it, because I've been to 2 premieres of movies, and one was the Rack Pack with Daryl Rackley, who was also in this movie, Halloween Kills, and I did a flashback scene for his film. And then There was another movie where we had it actually premiered at Cucaloris, which is a big film festival for independent film in Wilmington, North Carolina. And it does have a horror genre as well. And so that was the movie The Killer Bees, where I was the lead, Mona, with my Jersey accent and my Jersey accent.
Jersey.
And I did because I did kill a guy. So you know what? But he deserved it.
I got this thing in my trunk. Come here.
Yeah, I got this thing in my trunk. So I had made sure that my ex-husband went away to prison, and my girlfriend Trixie's husband was put away too. And then they offed us. They offed us. So they had these great stories about us, no longer living on this earth, but they sent us to Des Moines. And so we went to Des Moines, and we started working for Busy Bee Cleaners. So in our first job, there was a mean man there, and we took care of him. So, but I try to get you guys the link to Killer Bees. I talked to the director, Rebecca Bush, the other day, and she said she would get me a clean link of that. They had done some recoloring of the film, and it's just a short, but it does have some murder and mayhem and a little bit of dark comedy. So kind of like the scene that we're looking at right now from Living Color. You've got one of its most amazing stars. That's Little John and Big John. So it's like I could see Danny McBride all over this scene. It's I worked on Vice Principals, which was another Danny McBride project. And that was kind of had some tongue-in-cheek humor to it. And this is definitely that escape from all the horror and blood and guts that you see in the rest of the movie. But I won't give anything away.
So you guys are all horror fanatics. I've got one for you to check out. It's a short one of the first shorts that I ever did. It was for an acting reel for 2 actors. It's called Jack Shed. You can look it up on YouTube, but we were doing it for a reel for 2 actors, and then ended up getting picked up by DirecTV, the Shorts channel. So I opened up the movie. I'm this crazy ass neighbor. This crazy man kills my dog. So I'm going to this trailer to kill this guy, and I end up getting stabbed to death. And then it's a really good short. It's pretty cool. You should check it out.
What's it called again?
It's called Jack Shed. Yeah. So the filmmaker, he actually gave me my first chance to start really acting. He's like, Ron, I'm gonna get you in one of my films. Seneca Robertson. He's out of Charlotte. He's a stunt coordinator. So he coordinated all the stunt scenes and everything for me. And my friend Philip Smith. He used to be an acting coach, and he's like, Ron, he had to get me into the character. Once he got me into my character, he's like, Ron, there's something to you. He's like, you got a lot more than what most actors have. And I was like, what do you mean? I don't feel like I can act at all. And he's like, there's something about you. And they just believed in me, and then things started taking off for me in other films, and I've got people contacting me now, hey, I'd like for you to be in my film. It's been really cool, just people giving me a chance, to show myself, because it's all been networking. The whole thing is networking in this business. If you're in the right network, you can't go wrong, in my opinion. If you're easy to work with, if you have a good work ethic, you're very easy to work with. They like people that are easy to work with, they don't like high maintenance folks per se,
Like, don't look at the actors in the eyes. Like,
yeah.
But no, that's cool, man. Yeah.
I've heard people say that. I've always hated that. I'm like, you can look me in my eyes all you want.
Yeah.
It's
And a lot of actors, when you're filming, they don't like to see a side of anybody's eye line either when they're acting, because it distracts them.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. It's weird, man, because you have to be in the right headspace and all this stuff.
Yeah. And that for example, the big mob scene, me as an actor, I would have been nervous doing that scene. There was hundreds of people there, and I know I would have been nervous trying to do that dialogue.
right. Especially when the mob runs around.
Yeah. You got everybody crazy. You know Brandon Turner, don't you?
Brandon Turner.
He was the
Probably.
other orderly. he actually got more camera time than I got. He got some really nice camera time, Brandon. But we hung out the whole time. We had a ball. I mean,
Yeah.
We were in a bunch of scenes, and my friend Mike too as well. We actually got put. They pulled us into the morgue scene. And there was dead bodies in there, and it was funny. I was like, I told my friend Mike, I said, "Look at this dummy over here," and the guy answered me. He's like, "I'm not a dummy."
That's
It
pretty
was
good.
actually a real person laid on the slab. I was like,
and he's a
"Oh
dummy."
shit!" Yeah. So we missed out on that scene. It was too tight of a shot for the cameras to get in there. We would have had some really cool features and stuff up there, but it didn't happen.
Come on, Mommy's got to figure out a way to charge this.
But yeah, that was funny when the dead body answered to me.
You call dummy. That's funny, man.
I said, "These dummies look real."
I wouldn't be surprised if they got paid really good just to lay there.
Oh, they actually did because they were totally naked.
Oh, wow.
I remember that casting. They did.
I feel like they can do something to make so you don't have to be naked.
Yeah, I mean, they could. Yeah.
You had to lay completely still. You can't move at all.
But I'll tell you that the dummy bodies actually really did look real. I mean, I was so amazed to see how detailed it was.
Oh, right on. I remember.
There's.
We were. I don't know where you guys are at, but we have to. Our mob chases.
Yeah, there went me by. There's the cardiac monitor.
That's too funny. There I am.
Those were long nights. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh, I was so beat, man.
Yeah, we had already shot the ending while this was actually going on right here, and I kept thinking, "Is this how much longer? How much longer?" Because you're just walking around and around for 12 hours. You know.
You know what I was thinking, Clark? How long it's going to take for us to check out?
That's right. I remember I had a cue marker that they put down on the ground so you know where to stop.
Yeah.
And I had one of the extras constantly cut me off.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of that.
But I just said I only said this once. I said, "Hey man, just so you know, I got to get to that X there." And he just looked at me like, didn't say anything, just looked at me like I was stupid.
Yeah.
And then we went again, and one of our guys was like, "Are you gonna say anything?" I said, "No," because I go, because the director eventually will. I said, I go, if he doesn't, then I'll say something because I don't want to have to be
right
all night long. So, so the director actually yelled cut, and he's like, "Hey, that cue marker is actually for me, you know, for that guy." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, I don't know. I thought,
there was a lot of that going on, and I mean, I've had people say I was hogging the camera, and I was doing what Teddy directed me to do.
Here I am right here at the gas station. This scene was because I was miscast on the bar scene.
Okay. This is the scene.
So that's why this was like that was the last day of filming right there. Was that part? That was the very last day of filming.
And I explained that a little bit too when I was on with you guys before, that you never know where this scene is in the movie.
No.
At the end,
right.
There are times in continuity that they've got to pull you into something, once they realize, oh, wait a minute, where's the guy with the hockey stick? Where's where's the orderly?
Yeah. I was wondering when we were doing that, I was like, I wonder if we're part of the, do we just, I wonder, I was very curious of where we were going to end up. But when I saw that go down, that fight scene go down, I was like, this could be the ending. But I wasn't sure. For all you know, you could be smack dab in the middle of that, and you just gave him a break, and then he's going to get up and do some more hell. Did you guys?
then,
What do
like-
you guys think?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I was gonna
that's
ask right here with this scene. What'd you guys think of those masks? Did you guys those 3 masks?
Oh, those are the Halloween Silver Shamrock masks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
from Halloween
I
3. I
caught
really
that
love
right
that they
away.
add those into the film.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and it was
They
cool
They did
because
the
like
same
they're
thing in
right,
the last one in 2018.
yeah, well, like in this one they're right front and center, like just
Yeah.
they fill up the screen. In the last one, they were just somebody warm by the
There's
camera.
one right there. The skull.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's cool. The continuity, like you were saying, was real tight on this movie because that's one thing horror fans we love the shit out of
Oh
continuity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
like doesn't match. Doesn't match. The box of Wheaties looks different. Like it's just we're not sick of it.
And see, that's how I am with all the medical stuff. If I see a ventilator, oh
Mm.
my God, and it's not hooked up to somebody, or I mean, I'm just like,
Sure.
no, that's not right. Or if there's a tube down somebody's throat, I'm critiquing that, and I could have done this better or that better.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, there was a ventilator in that room, and I actually came in after that fact, and I thought that the vent should have come out of the room, but they left it. So
Yeah. Now, my favorite kill is actually coming up with the nurse when she runs up.
Yeah,
to the
that was really. I like that one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. She's a horrible shot.
Yeah, that
with the 50
It's,
cal.
I hated to lose her too. She definitely played her part well. And it was confusing too because I'm trying to think of when I sat down to watch the movie. Okay, wait a minute. I saw her at the hospital by the ambulance. And so I think that they film things a lot of different ways and then they decide, okay, how do we really fit this into the storyline? And do we change the storyline a little bit to fit the great film we've gotten here or here? And I think those are the decisions that, we have no idea of. And then I'm thinking, well, I was in the scene and I was in that scene, but it was probably better that I wasn't so visible because of how I then the fight at the last minute. And, someone said that to me. I think I saw you in the hospital. And I said, well, let's think of it this way. I was in the hospital checking on, friends, family, neighbors. And then I hear this call to arms, and it was the call to irons, and
Yeah.
I go home to grab whatever weapon I can. And I hear the fight starting and the iron's sitting right there on the ironing board and I grab it. But, I would have,
I didn't even know how important you guys were in Tommy's mom. I saw Brian out in the parking lot for that mob scene, and I was like, damn, here comes the cameras up by Brian and you.
right.
I honestly didn't even see the damn iron.
Yeah. I had it right here. And I was telling them before, the cord was loose and I was swinging it and swinging it and swinging it. And I don't think it was even Teddy. I think it was Attila came over and
Yeah,
said,
Attila.
would you please stop swinging the iron? And I was like,
I'm getting into
Wait a minute.
character.
Oh my God, you guys! Oh my God, you can clear this up for me. I never could understand what his name was. Say it again.
Attila.
That guy.
Attila.
Attila.
Like the candy? Like Nutella, the candy?
No, Attila.
Attila the Hun.
Attila. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I was trying to find him on IMDb and I could not find his name on
He's
there.
on there. Look
Is
under
he?
Halloween Kills. He's under the direct.
All right.
What were you
Yeah.
typing? Ella?
Yeah,
That's
I kept
awesome.
going. I was to get people to like understand who I was talking about. I was like, his name's not Nutella, but it sounds like the candy.
Yeah.
And he's really nice with it, It was like,
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
yeah, and when it came down to the killing, some people did get killed, and they were like, he was like he would tell you, he would come up to you at lunch. He came up to those people at lunch and said, I'm sorry that we couldn't kill you. And he didn't understand why. And then when I was in line with them getting our food, I was like, it's because it's the kill count.
Mhm.
The kill count
Yeah.
that's on YouTube. I said, people
yeah.
want to be a part of that. So that's
That's what people remember from horror movies is the kills,
Yeah.
man.
That's right.
And
Something
want to be killed by Michael Myers in a movie.
There you go.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
Well, I just want to be like, if I really was killed, if the girl that did the stand-in for me really was killed, you didn't see her in a coffin. You didn't see that, she didn't see her in the morgue. And why can't she be like Catwoman and just come back, as a little bit stronger, a little bit meaner, a little bit wiser, a little more calculated, and have that iron with her that will be her trademark, her stamp of approval. So yeah, I've really had a lot of fun with this.
I just saw you again right now, Ron.
Did you? Oh, my TV
there
cut
you go.
off.
Boom.
So now I'll give you guys a little
There's
bit
Brandon.
about
I know
Green
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Yes, Brandon.
he got a lot of nice shots in that.
Yeah.
He and I had a ball on that set.
Yeah.
We've got some stories to tell, but I'm not going to tell him. He'll know what
I
I'm talking
remember.
about.
I just saw you, Juan Valdez.
Juan Valdez.
Greenfield Lake is a beautiful lake in Wilmington, very near the Rusty Nail, and has a huge homeless community. So you do not go there by yourself at night, and then you do not get in the water because there are a lot of alligators and snakes.
Oh yes.
But it's used often for. And there's a beautiful amphitheater there where they have a lot of really nice concerts, but you'd never catch me.
Out in Castle Hayne, they film a lot at the cement factory. We shot Swamp Thing, Iron Man. I've been there many times, and my gosh, that place is creepy.
I did Under the Dome. I played a terrorist, so I got
nice.
Cool.
Nice.
So that was cool. We got killed right away, so it was a short day.
Oh man.
Reprisal was used in Reprisal a lot.
Yep,
too.
we shot Reprisal a lot too.
Have you guys seen that?
Oh
Reprisal?
yeah, it was great.
I get shot in the eye, so it's a headshot, and
Was that you?
If you want to look me up on Instagram, it's producer_Clark Willis, and just scroll down, you'll see the makeup. I got to take it home. Matter of fact, everything on this shelf is from my career in radio, whether it be autographs,
Marla,
Johnny Bench to
Marla.
All right.
I've got. Hey, Clark,
now
did you get some of the wardrobe from that?
This is from.
Oh,
This
that's
is my
cool.
eye. This is my eye
cool.
from Reprisal. So here. So you just kind of like.
That's awesome.
It looks
That's
more
so
like
cool.
a stab wound, but here, if you can see the plus, well, in a way.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that was cool. It felt like a pill, and then the back of it is like a pillow, nice and soft.
Oh.
Hey, Clark, did you get any of the wardrobe from that? They gave it all away.
No.
I got some of the brawler shirts here. The Banished Brawlers.
The only thing that wasn't mine was the shirt. The shoes were Navy SEAL shoes that I got from Sixth, and my dog ate them. I kid you not. And I was so mad. I was like, Maggie, that was around Halloween, but it's all right. But and obviously, just the shirt was the only thing that they gave me to wear. So if I'd have known, I probably would have bought it.
I got to go grab a shirt. I'll show you guys real quick. It's pretty cool. I'll be right back.
So I'm not sure if we're all at the same scene or not, but this is the scene with Tommy that's come upon the kids and
In the park.
Yeah, has come upon those that have died that were in the last movie. And I'm trying to think if that was part of the Greenfield Lake or not. I'm not sure where that was filmed in Wilmington, but that was very, very much of an eerie scene.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys remember telling you that we spent a whole day getting people killed?
Mhm.
That was in a sound stage, and it was all black. It was very dark, and they had a beam of light coming straight down, and I kept going, this has to be a dream sequence. It has to be, but I was wrong. And now that I've watched it, it was for that ending.
Oh, there's a lot of BTS pictures on that too out.
Visualize when we're on the street and the darkness around you, in that scene, and then when people start getting killed, and compare that darkness, and then you can make heads and tails of those. Those didn't happen on the same day for behind the scenes purposes, but yeah.
Okay.
And they were literally spitting people like this. And I kid you not, the one stunt lady had to get stabbed like 30 times in the back just to get the one shot. And she had to scream. She had to scream the entire time too.
Oh,
and
man.
she got a standing O for that. She did a great job.
Good. Yeah.
Every stab was for real. So, and like I said earlier, some people when they got stabbed, they were like, "Oh, it was."
Oh, you got to sell it, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Belisa,
Yeah.
remember this?
Oh God, yes.
Vanishing
I have to
Brawlers.
share them, but
Yeah,
Reprisal.
pretty cool.
Yeah, Reprisal was a very
Oh, nice.
set to work on, and there was a lot of burlesque dancers around, so the
Yeah.
guys definitely enjoyed working on that set.
Yeah.
And nearly naked women, and most of them
Yeah,
served.
we shot at the Banger Ring.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you got to roll your sleeves up and do it. So, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The rest of these girls were in great, beautiful shape, so
Good.
I'm sure the guys definitely enjoyed it.
the camera with me.
Yeah, you know, it took one for the team. You know.
Yeah,
Oh, you sit with me.
What is it?
What?
you know that
Right
actually
there.
a little bit of horror in it, and scary scenes, and
Look at
you know,
that.
it's always hard when you're playing
Come on,
like
come on.
how kills.
Sit with me a
You're in
minute.
this big scene where everybody's running, everybody's rushing, everybody's, and you get this kind of, you know, hive mentality, and everybody is, you know, yeah, you know, evil dies tonight.
Say hey.
It
Wait.
got extremely loud. It got extremely
Wait a minute.
and
How
this
do you
was
guys
like
feel about that?
it. And you know, so it was interesting when you do these things, and people really get into it, and they lose time. But it's also dangerous when you're running up the steps and running down the steps that you'll see shortly here in the movie, and you got to be careful not to get knocked down because you will just get trampled right over. And
Say,
that was Ron's cute
say hey.
son.
Say hey to him. This is my little actor here coming up. Wave
What's
at
up,
him.
man?
He said, hey, what's up? Here.
What's up, man?
You got to talk, or we don't know you're there.
She said, you got to talk. Hey.
All right. So, did you enjoy the movie? Did you watch it with Dad?
He did watch it with me.
And so, your dad said that you really asked if he knew the Iron Maiden, because I'm the Iron Maiden.
That's the Iron Maiden right there.
Can you see it?
Tell her about how your friends know about her. Your friends all know about her. The Iron Maiden, all the memes, all the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They're like, you're getting on with the Iron Maiden.
So I still have to get onto TikTok and become part of the
Yeah, they
21st century. So all right, now there's a whole lot of hospital scenes going on, and I just saw you again, Ron. You were
did you?
Yeah, you're definitely, and it's funny because I'm in some of these right at the edge of
Oh, there's my cardiac monitor.
right at the edge of all the other actors and actresses. And
So
it's
I'm
like,
all the way in the back where Jamie Lee's sitting.
I just
I'm the
thought-
orderly.
there you were,
Yeah.
Clark, because you've got
Yeah.
that burgundy jacket on.
I saw Clark go
Yeah,
down
that
the
was
hallway.
that was different.
There's Mimi. There's Alan. Yep, Alan's right there where I'm watching him. Now I told everybody about that scene where he was having a hard time with his lines. When he's got the Tommy Doyle thing, when he comes up here and stands up to the crowd and tells them what they need to do, and he kept trying to do the scene over and over and over again, and he was messing up his lines. He couldn't get them, and so we
I
stopped.
missed that.
We took a
I
little
remember.
break, and that's when I got in trouble a few minutes after that, because I went up to him and asked if I could show him a technique to calm him down, and it meant touching his arm. And he and I talked for a couple minutes. There was me and Brian, and then we go on this other longer break after he walks up and does his lines perfectly. He got back into the moment where he was Tommy Doyle, and he could say those lines. But we all got brought outside, and I got in big trouble for touching.
And yeah, I mean that was a huge mob of people. I mean, I would have been nervous myself.
Yeah.
It was so chaotic and
Right on.
All right. So what was it you said? How do we feel about the shape
Oh,
getting dealt with?
I was. What did you guys feel about that when they started saying the chanting of "Evil Dies Tonight"? How did you feel about that?
I've been waiting for it for a minute. But again, it was man, I'm gonna get like real hard and nerdy on you.
they cut a lot of that out.
No,
though.
you're fine.
Yeah.
Well,
It
it's
got
like all
really
right.
frantic in there, and I mean, it was hours and hours and hours of us screaming those lines.
Yeah.
And it got intense. It got kind of ugly. And
I mean, I got crushed in that mob.
Yeah.
Somebody got kicked out.
Yeah.
He elbowed
Mhm.
Anthony in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even
I'll
wanna
say it
know-
wasn't what I expected. Like
Oh,
Ron, it's
Ron,
nice. Like
I'm getting ready to see the scene with Jamie Lee Curtis where she injects herself. What do you think about that whole thing? Is that even possible to do that like that?
I just passed it. Yeah,
let's
yes, it
stab
is.
myself in the ass with a 2-inch needle.
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the cardiac monitors? I said all that stuff, all the numbers on that.
You get better
So
blood pressure than I do.
So, yeah, I was like, well, is the patient in pain? I've got to base everything off of that. If she's in pain, the heart rate's obviously going to be higher, higher blood pressure. But yeah, I hate that scene when she came out and I smacked her shoulder. I hope it's in the director's cut.
Yeah.
And the one of me looking right into the camera lens like I saw a ghost. I mean, I was literally right in the lens. I hope to God that's in there. It may not be.
Anybody know about when the director's cut's coming out? I have
2
not.
months, I believe, in
Oh, wow.
February.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Darn it.
I think it's out on DVD already, isn't it?
Well, let me find out.
I thought I saw it
came
was
out
at
in the
Walmart.
theater and it came out in streaming. I know that, but
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's streaming already. That wouldn't be already out on
yeah,
Blu-ray and DVD yet.
Yeah.
Might as well, yeah.
but it's coming. Physical copy.
Oh yeah, it won't be long. They're really fast with it
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's estimated for January of 2022.
Ah,
Nice.
So you guys got to check out that Black Phone next when it comes out. It's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to be a good
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
You should. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's really good too.
Saw the previews both times I went to the theater, and it really
It's really creepy.
reminds me of Stranger Things. And so I think Stranger Things started this whole, let's go back into the 70s and 80s genre. Let's do this phone. Let's get kids really involved.
Go get the Black Phone game.
Yeah, and I think that children in horror films, really allows kids to be able to see that and maybe conquer their own fears. This little guy, this little girl can stand up to this, can withstand it. Whatever fears I've got in my life, hopefully it's able to help them. My brother used to scare the hell out of me, and he was 17 years older than I was. So he came back from the Navy and would tell me all these little stories that is this 3 and 4 year old. So most of my growing up years was in one house in Alexandria, Virginia. And I was afraid to go by the door with this lead glass pane because it was, it kind of moved when you walked by it anyway. And it was raw meat and bloody bones was the ghost that he scared me with. That if there was a noise in the attic or if there was a noise in this back sunroom, that raw meat and bloody bones was coming after us. So it didn't help that we also had a ghost in the house from the woman who died in the house.
Wow.
Us living there. My parents lived in that house 45 years. So that actually I went to the high school that's not even called T.C. Williams anymore. It was Remember the Titans. That was my high school and just prior to my era in the school. But I was subjected to busing to the middle school that used to be the high school, the black high school within, or African American high school within Alexandria. So a lot of my friends, their older siblings were in that era of that change within Alexandria. So there were some real fights in that. So now you're back in. I know who you are. And so I'm looking out for.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the
I got to share this with you. So I was on set last week filming, and Rob invited me to stay at his house. And he and his wife, Deb, got me this phone for the black phone.
Oh, God.
Pretty cool, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really cool gift.
So now we're in the scene that the other mental patient is trying to figure out what the hell is going on. People are thinking that it's him. You've got Lori and daughter and Tommy in the back of my
Turn that off, buddy. Oh, there's Tony Hooper.
Yep. Tony's
James Holden.
God bless him.
Yep. Great guy.
Little John and Big John.
Yeah, it's like, it just seems
Okay.
like it was probably shy of a week that we finished filming 2 years ago. It was just before Halloween. It was,
Right.
I left and went out of town, and then was called, unfortunately, like I said before, to do that final death scene. And I was already 1,000 miles away and couldn't come back. But this is great. This is probably some of my favorite scenes are with Little John and Big John, and the whole, Little John's taller than Big John, and Little John's got the bigger knife.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
So it
So
also
are you?
wonder, why was he called Big John, and why was he called Little John?
Are you all at the mob scene in the hospital lobby?
I'm past that.
I'm past that too.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
in with
that
Big John.
scene, it got technical with me with Teddy because I had to meander all through that mob, and the lady that came in, the actress that came in screaming, I had to calm her down, which part of that was cut out. The side of my face on the front of the camera, but I was trying to calm her down. And when we were in between takes, I was like, ma'am, you need to calm down. Please calm down. And she was just freaking out. And between cuts, she was like, I can't even look at you. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're being so sincere. I can't even look at you. I mean, I thought that was kind of cool of her.
Yeah.
But she was the actress that came in freaking out, thinking that was Michael Myers that was coming in.
Yeah.
Really great actress, by the way, too. I mean, she was so much into her character. I mean, she was just, oh my God, it was amazing to watch her.
And Judy Greer, both Ron and I were able to work with her in the other film that we did just prior to Halloween Kills, which is on Amazon right now, and that's Uncle Frank. And
there were some A-lister there was a lot of big actors in that. Paul
Yeah.
Bettany, Lois Smith,
Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn. I remember out at, when we were at the funeral at that house, Belisa.
Yep.
We were in between scenes.
All you see is like this part of a dress with my mother's brooch, but you do see me in the scene with the wake in a tan dress, and I'm right behind the brothers talking about the loss of their father. And then it's easier to see me in the line of people behind the family standing up at the gravesite, because you catch the auburn rays in my hair. It's just kind of shocking at that point. But now
that was a fun shoot there.
We're back in the chaos at the hospital.
So that scene there was really mass chaos. I mean, it's a wonder nobody got hurt in that scene. We were tripping over stuff in the hall, knocking stuff over.
Right.
Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah, I just saw another friend of mine, Christina.
Yep, there's my buddy Chris.
Yeah.
Those were long nights of running. I'll never
Oh
forget
my
that.
gosh, I didn't think we'd ever get done.
Yeah,
And
that's how
hot for October in Wilmington, and so we kept having to get water on the set, and then you get you can only work so many hours before they've got to give you a break. But
Yeah.
this was just complete chaos, and then trying to remember for continuity where you started, where you stopped, who you were standing next to, because you don't know.
There's Rob, the deputy. He's going up the stairs as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the cadavers, I wanted to be a cadaver because they were paying like $250 if you wanted to be a cadaver.
Oh, they were paying more than that.
Yeah, I just saw my
Oh,
friend
wow.
Jasmine Torres, who
Yeah, Jasmine. Yeah.
she is a hoot. She was the first day I ever worked on a film in Wilmington. I met she and Brian and Tony and Teresa and a couple other people. And this was, I was talking in the last interview about the part of the scene that's getting ready to happen. And, you cannot have a queasy stomach for some of these things.
Yeah, so Jasmine Belisa, she was actually the key PA on the Black Phone.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah, she's doing a lot.
She has some family within the film industry.
Oh, does she?
She's been tied to a lot of productions, and she's a no nonsense character. And
Yeah.
after I got in trouble for touching, or Tommy, she went up to our PA and she told him, she says, you know what? She said she had every right in the world to ask if he needed help, and she did before she ever even touched him. Said, did anybody else ask him if he needed help or walk up and do anything to get him back in the moment? She did, and you ought to be thankful that she did it. So, I still owe Jasmine for that. So it was great.
Yeah, she's good people.
Yeah, she really is. And she and Brian have been good friends for a lot of years. So he kind of keeps me up. She's up living in Northern Virginia, very close to where I grew up in McLean, Virginia. And I kind of set a booby trap. Do you want to sit in and say hello? My doppelganger from last night. If you guys go online, you'll see two of us as the Iron Maiden. And
The Iron Maidens.
with my boyfriend Lee Venters, who is a very, very good musician, and you can find his music on Spotify and Django and the others. See, there you are, right there.
Oh, hey.
What's happening, Lee?
How's it going?
6'6".
What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
And the ice show.
No, I had nothing to do.
Fantastic drummer there.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing well.
Good.
And
good.
that's Clark
Yeah,
down here.
yeah.
And got our two moderators right up there.
Hey, Clark, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
What's happening, Lee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
God.
one drummer to another.
Yes, sir.
So I actually thought you guys will have to post some of those pictures up when you guys finish the editing of this, so people can see, my I call him my maxi me or my mega me instead of my mini me, being the Iron Maiden. And he shocked some of our friends last night in town when we did go out for about 2 hours, and they were not expecting, him with he had a little bit redder wig on, and I tried to give it a little, give it that Iron Maiden look.
Yeah.
It looked great.
To a male bathroom and looking yourself in the mirror and scaring the crap out of yourself. So
Yeah.
that kind of caught me off guard, but
And he did take off the fake nail polish first thing this morning. So. Yeah, there's no polish on now. Yeah. So he would actually, we were 1,000 miles apart while this was being filmed. So I would talk to him quietly off set, and when we were out, on breaks, because there were a lot of times where we'd be, especially the mob group of us, we were pulled out of certain scenes. So Clark and myself and all the other guys, Alan and Port, Jose, and I wish we could have gotten Eugene and Jose on today, and the other guys as well, Anthony, and we would just chat, and he'd ask me how things were going, what was going on, and I'd kind of tell him a little bit of the backstories of it. So, and I came down to visit him when they called me and wanted me to come back in and do that final scene, but it was too late at that point. But yeah, we had a lot of fun jokes behind the scene, and Ron got to know him pretty well too through a couple movies, because Ron's a really good drummer and has an amazing drum set. So these two drummers had some, things to talk about and be friends on Facebook. And
I'm quite a little bit more rusty than you, Lee.
he was probably a little more rusty.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
No, this is his only day off, and he got called in to work again because he does a lot of sunset cruises. And
Nice.
does a lot of club work, and we went up to Miami for a big party last weekend at this $25 million mansion. So it's
Wow.
But to go back to the movie, here's the scene that I'm seeing right now, where the mob, everybody, the big massive mob, is going after
Oh yeah.
poor insane guy. And what you see in another moment or two, even seeing it live, seeing what was made up on the ground, it was really
I was right there in front of those brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
They haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I've only been offered brains and eggs once in my life, and thankfully I turned it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was also hours shooting it from many different perspectives, and that's the thing you'll see often in even group settings is you set up for a camera to be one direction, then they do all the filming you need. They may go in for a closer focus. Now,
tighter shot.
Something
different angles.
And that is great how they did this whole set. And I'm wondering how they filmed this gentleman, the patient falling out the window, because the hands going over as the perspective is the camera, and whether they probably dropped someone, that just shy of hitting the ground. And that had to be a very harrowing job to do. But this was absolutely gross. Special effects and the special effects makeup was done extremely well.
I've got some really cool pics of that guy's face I saw online. I'll share.
And that was that Brian Moss, who was the makeup primary special effects makeup artist on that. And jeez, he did
amazing work. Amazing.
Yeah, like those guys live to gross people out.
Yeah.
I've only done special effects makeup once, and it was minimal. And here's the moment where everybody's kind of broken because they realize, it really wasn't Michael, and this guy died for no other reason than being in the moment. Oops, and then they got a little bit of a flashback.
Yeah, flashback to 2018.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the actual stage pictures of the houses on the stages?
No.
I've got that. All that stuff's out now. I'll share all that stuff with you. I didn't take the pictures, but it shows. I don't know what stage it was, 10 or 9 or whatever. But they actually physically had the houses in the neighborhood built on the stage. It's really cool.
Oh, cool.
And the guy that fell out the window, they actually have I got a couple pictures of, not me, but they're out from, some of the special effects folks. My kid got gored out looking at it.
Brownie Harris.
Yeah. So was it Brownie Harris that was working on this as a still photographer? I'm trying to remember. Because Brownie works on a lot of the films.
When I was with Will Patton on the stretcher, they took a bunch of photos with him and told me to pose with my clipboard, but I've not seen those pictures yet. The BTS shots. It was a man.
Yeah. Well, Brownie's in his late 60s, tall.
Yes, I remember.
You'd see him on. I saw him a lot on Uncle Frank and Sleepy Hollow and Under the Dome and several of those.
So guess who's doing BTS photography now? Do you remember Dana, the wardrobe?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she does some phenomenal photography. She
Dana-
is loving her job.
Yeah. Dana was one of the wardrobe mistresses, and she has also been a PA on a film.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I met her was on Swamp Thing, and we're supposed to be in the bayou in New Orleans at this bar outside, and it's supposed to be hot and steamy August, and it's 33 degrees.
It was cold.
Skirt on and a little not much cowboy boots on, and I'm freezing my tatas and everything else off. And so the second night we shot all night into the morning. They had heaters out there, thank God. But she remembered me from the other night. She goes, "I brought blankets just for you." So you've got a tremendous amount of crew that works really, really hard.
Oh, those guys work so hard. Oh my God.
They get a lot of other perks too. So,
Yeah.
they fed extra food and special stuff. They're walking around with hot soup when we're freezing our, my tatas, your asses off. But they deserve it. I've got friends up the crew side. A good friend of mine, Tommy Doyle, real name Tommy Doyle is a medic that has worked on a number of these films as well. And now I'm back at the hospital scene side with.
I'm at where they just rolled up to the house. The father.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit behind you.
In the SUV?
Beat up.
I'm at 124.38.
124.38. Okay. Oh, yep. You're just a few seconds ahead.
Yep, that's exactly where I'm at, Clark.
I wanted to ask you, what time of year did they film this movie?
It was in October.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was cold.
No,
Yeah.
it was
Cool.
warm. I was sweating under all my clothes.
Yeah,
I was cold that one night.
Yeah.
The night that there was like 350 background, and it
yeah.
took forever to check out.
That definitely got hot inside of that because
yeah.
they're building the hospital inside a working, operating, administrative building for the college. So they weren't caring about air ducts and all of that. They were just caring about the look. But this leads up to the really, really good scene where, unfortunately, Ron isn't in it, or I guess fortunately he is not, but he didn't get a chance to be killed. But Clark, did you ever get a chance to hit Michael?
Come close. That was about it. Really close.
Oh man.
Just actually with the stunt crew, they were hitting him so hard that it was it's so much that you were like, every time you try to get a blow in, somebody was already tapping him twice. So it's kind of, like I said, when it comes out on DVD, hopefully they extend that fight.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more to that. I can promise you, there's a lot more to that fight. And
I guess we're not at the fight yet. We're
getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close. Oh, you say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah. Nice to meet everybody. Have a great night.
You too.
Nice seeing you, Lee.
Take
care.
Check out his music.
All right.
Here, guys.
I always listen to your music, Lee.
Aw. Yeah. I'd love to see if I can't get some of his music into film. He's starting to write again, so that's a good thing. Whether he wants to or not, a great friend of his sent him an amazing Stratocaster, and it's got a couple little tweaks he wants to make on it, and he's already got some songs in his head and in his mind and some down on paper. But he spent a lot of time at Berkeley and a lot of time on the road and around the world touring with some amazing artists. And you never know, maybe on the next movie there'll be a song by Lee Venters playing in the background.
That would be awesome.
This part reminds me of the trailer, because I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was just watching, and then when I saw myself in the trailer, I was like, oh, yeah. I know that. I was like, oh man, because it was such a lead up too, because she kept yelling, do it. you
Mhm.
want your mess? And then the lights come on. And I was like, I can't wait to see this now. Oh, man. That was an intense trailer.
It was.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Now,
that was kind of the hard part about waiting so much time for this movie to come out is, damn it, they've got the trailers. Why can't we see the rest of it? I want to see if I'm actually,
Mhm.
in it for a split second. And, that's all it takes is a split second to
Yeah.
change.
All it took was that iron in your hand.
now, like that has to be a slow form of torture to know you're in the movie, but you can't say anything until it comes out. Like I think
Right.
you mentioned that before. You were like,
So,
Yeah,
Belisa-
you tried so hard. You tried so hard. And one of the shows that they try to get me to talk on in our radio is from one of our station goes from Jacksonville to Raleigh, and the other one goes the other way from there to Wilmington. And I definitely wouldn't say anything because you never know who's listening. Matter of fact, I talked to James, and he likes one of the shows that I actually work on, or type of station that it is. It's talk radio, so he likes the conservative talk radio. And I said, man, you got to check that out if you like that kind of stuff. And by the way, he told me that. I said, well, what did you want to do before you became Michael Myers? He's like, well, I definitely wanted to be an investigative type reporter for TV. When people like rip you off, like, hey,
yeah,
yeah.
stuff like that. So that was cool. We talked about that. That was the night of the killings, and then we talked a little bit when I first met him on rehearsal. It was just a full day of rehearsal. That was it. No acting, just rehearsal. We make sure nobody got hurt during the finale, we'll call it. But it was, man, it was actually a great time. I think it's great to be a part of this. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it. Now all I got to do now is get in on Friday the 13th.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah.
It was funny, Clark. We were very lucky to get on this. Do you know, I found out there was like 20,000 people that submitted for that movie. 20,000 people. I talked to people that came all the way from Philadelphia, all the way from Florida, all across the
and
country.
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah.
And this was the first time I was ever casted by Tona, ever.
Yeah.
She never heard of me or anything, and she casted me.
Nice.
So at the end of the day, from what I understand, that when you submit, the director also looks at your photos too.
They do.
So she doesn't have first say. She just says, here, I've got this, and then the director says, let me see what you got, and then it's like that. So it's a matter of what he wants. So
wow.
And
I
actually
was
found out
lucky
when
enough
I was in Wilmington.
to be called in. They wanted, mature women and men to come into the neighborhood, and they liked my intensity of when they were filming me for another scene that did not get into the movie. While I'm in pajamas watching the chaos going on through my plate glass window, and this is like 2 hours of do this, do that, change in intensity, put pajamas back on her, now she needs her clothes on, and let's get her coming out the door. And that was even before I was handed the iron, and then they cut all of that out and just brought me as if I was coming from the direction of a house into the scene that you'll see in a few minutes. So it was just kind of happenstance. Nobody else that was picked up that night. Was 2 other people were pulled into similar scenes that I didn't even see in the movie, but no one else except for me out of those 10 people that came in at 11 p.m. to be on set by midnight were chosen. So, the odds were with me that night. It could have been somebody else. It could have been another prop, but I think that the iron has really touched a lot of people's minds as being that one obscure thing that when I thought of the iron, but who knows? What would you grab the first thing coming out of your house? That's been a couple questions that people have asked me on Facebook. And said, oh my God, what do I have right beside me? And You know, I don't think I've
Hmm.
ironed much of anything in the last 15 years.
I have this. This is so I'd be up
Do your
Shit's Creek.
hair.
Oh,
Yeah, close thing I have is like a samurai sword.
samurai.
Right.
That would
Speaking of Schitt's Creek, I just
There it
worked
is.
with one of the actresses in that.
you did.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I saw her on set the other night.
I love that show.
Yeah,
I'm
it's good.
glad that it's
Are you
not.
guys at that part now? The street?
He's
Yeah,
getting ready to pick up his mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's still holding it in my view. Can you feel it?
I must have just gotten an Amazon delivery. My cats all came running out of the driveway into the backyard with me. They get later and later every night. You never know when Amazon is going to show up.
yeah.
Service. So good God, they work 24 hours a day. All right. So now here's the scene. Got the knife that I've been superimposed upon a few times. So, and again, that's like an honor for me to be in all these damn scenes. Amazing. All right, he's going after Lori. Not Lori. Why do I keep wanting to
There's
call
his mask. He's looking at his mask. Now
Yeah.
I start to walk towards it.
I was on
That
set.
sequence was the best.
Yeah, I was
Not
on set.
everything.
At this point, it's his face. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were filming that, and I think we were in the backyard of one of the other houses just in holding at that point when they were filming this scene.
I wasn't allowed to ride with the stunt crew, so I had to. There's one time I had to keep jumping out of the bushes, but this one they made me walk from the corner. There you are.
Okay, yeah.
There's that
Oh, there you are.
mask right now. Uh-oh, and the lights come up. Look for me right
There's
in
your
front.
hockey stick, Clark.
That's right. Right. Now look over his right shoulder. Look over his right shoulder.
I see it.
I love that shot. I actually
That's
like
awesome.
that shot.
There I am. There I am with Brian. And oh my, there you are, Clark. Because you had that burgundy and gray zip up jacket on.
You see that chick stunt girl with that mean mugging look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, she had the meanest look of all of us. I actually, when he shot that gun and he sliced his arm with the tiger guy, actually that blood got on me too. Because that was the squib on his forearm.
Yeah.
I felt it hit my face.
I think I'm a couple seconds behind you guys. I so wanted to hit him. I really wanted in my
You should have
heart.
clocked him with that iron.
I got my iron. I've got my orange crush. Yeah, and it was intense watching this because again, I'm not a fan of brutality and you know, he had some packing on him underneath, and some of this
I
was
remember that
stunt double with a nice ass. And hey, you know, the girl's got to look every once in a while. I'm watching it right now. I'm so intense into it, and this was done over and over and over again. And not Lori. Why do I want to keep calling her Lori? She was trying to figure out which way do I grab the knife to hold it. I'm going to have, you know, the bottom at this part of the hand. So that was a scene they did over and over and over again until they really got that right and got the emotion.
You see that house there? That's on the stage.
And that knife is CGI, by the way. There is no blade on set.
No, it was there. It was there.
I don't remember it sticking out of his back. I remember Michael had it in his, like, when he gets, well, I'll wait for it to happen first.
Yeah. Well,
okay, so when he did that, when he did this, he just had the handle.
Yeah.
The knife was CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I bet.
See, I think that's how CGI should be used, just to accentuate stuff and
right.
like, you know.
That's actually a decent CGI. You know,
Yeah.
even if you did like a crappy job, I think it should, with on a knife, it would still come out okay because it's a fast motion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then that whole scene where you know, Brackett is sliced through the throat. They did that only 3 different times because with the amount of blood that squirted everywhere, it was impossible to have been able to do it again right. So it had to be clockwork, and it may even have just been twice.
Oh, there's Keith Dooley right there. There's Bethany in the front of the house.
Yeah. You see,
Nice.
that looks like they did stab the stand-in for me. But hey, I've survived a spinal injury. I've survived nearly losing a couple fingers. You know, maybe I've birthed a child. You know, those are all painful circumstances that I survived. So I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna live another day, and that this iron is gonna give me all the strength that I need to come back and fight.
Michael better hope he doesn't run into you.
Yeah. See, I think it would be hilarious to have me and all my minions, all these different sized Iron Maidens, you know, from the little ones to Lee being 6'6" with his cowboy boots on. And that was pretty damn impressive last night. And
You can start a gang in Haddonfield called the Iron Maidens.
yeah, absolutely.
Ride your dirt bikes around and shit. That's awesome.
And look for clowns on the side.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We're the Monster Squad.
There you go. There you go.
See, I did not expect Tommy to lose it in this scene. And, you know, not being there for that very last day that you guys shot the end of this fight scene. I wasn't aware of, you know, who made it, who didn't, and I didn't want to really know either, because that was the whole thing with costumes, and that's why they bought that pair of pants of mine to give to the one stunt actress, and, you know, gave me another pair of pants, and I still have those, but I found online the exact replica of the pants I was wearing that they bought from me. But I said, can I have them back after the end of the shoot? And they said, oh, no, they'll be ruined with fake blood. And I'm like, okay, now I know, you know, that there's going to be a few more deaths. And so everybody else, they had duplicates of clothing. And they were really good about, you know, keeping everything clean. And then anything that was mine, I washed, but, you know, almost every day leaving the set. Because you're there for 10, 12, 14, 16 hours. And fortunately, some people did not wash their own clothes. And by the time that especially those hospital scenes were going on, it was pretty ripe in there.
Clothes walking by themselves. Like,
It was.
Oh.
What a great time.
So now with the movie set 4 years ahead, the next one, Halloween Ends, 4 years ahead of time. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis is a beautiful woman. And they really had her very raw and aging in this film. So I don't know what they're going to do, you know, in the next film to bring that age, you know, to her. I think as well, her personality is really what you see.
Right.
Which makes me think of the Activia yogurt commercials. And I don't know if you guys saw that meme or not, where it's the Activia yogurt in Jamie Lee Curtis's hand, and it's me popping up as the Iron Maiden as she eats me.
I think I saw that, yeah.
Saw that meme or
Right on.
So I kind of like I like the ones where they have, you know, the warrior Iron Maiden, the warrior Belisa, and, you know, I'm out there fighting, and, you know, then I've got the Mona Belisa versus the Mona Lisa, and then
I like the Mona Belisa.
And it's then somebody. Oh, I still keep thinking, oh my God, there's so many scenes that could happen for Saturday Night Live. You know, so many skits.
Oh yeah. You need to go on that show, Belisa.
I mean, that's been my dream since I was, you know, like a young teenager, you know, and I was kind of chicken to be doing stand-up comedy. Because, Clark, don't you do stand-up?
I've been wanting to do stand-up. I have something written out. I haven't That's
Yeah.
on my bucket list to go up on. But I said I would drive probably to like Texas and do it. So if I got laughed at, well, I mean, if I didn't get laughed at,
Right.
yeah.
You know, Clark, they do it down in Wilmington. There's a place, buddy of mine, Travis, he does it stand up.
I had a frequent caller on one of our morning shows that tried to get me to go down there because he does it.
Does it
Doug,
laugh?
Doug something. But I guess he does. He said it's all right. You get a decent crowd. I will. I know I'll do it. I used to joke, like I said, I used to joke and say, hey, I'm gonna do it in another state so that nobody will remember me if I bomb. And my last joke is if it's that bad, well, I'll just say, will somebody effing boo?
You should do it, man, because then you can say you did it. So
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, I'll do it. So I was just looking at let's see the channel. Oh, if you look it up on YouTube, producer 963. I'm at 1,800 views right now for that one video alone.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's just, let me play it. I believe it's just the Saul scene. Going over how, yeah. Oh no, this is where the fireman gets picked up, but he's not wearing a fireman's suit. So you'll see that. Let's see here. There you go.
Now, I was trying to think of the things that we could probably see you in, Ron, that are coming up.
I did a vampire movie a couple of years ago I think it's still being worked on. It's called Redemption's Price. I played John, one of the vampires. Tom Lancaster was the lead, and Lauren Boulding in that. I did a small problem where I did some stunt work. I was kind of a goon in that one. That actually is coming out this year sometime. It's called A Small Problem. What else have I done? I've worked on so many projects.
Did you do Scream? Did you do Scream 5?
I did not do Scream. I did not do that. That's one I didn't do. No.
All right. I did a couple days on that.
Did you?
As a sheriff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I heard
that's
Ford
one of
Model
the only
liked
ones I didn't do. So I'm working on a couple of Netflix productions right now, standing in. I got my call time, so I've got to get up at dark 30 and be there early tomorrow morning.
Oh, right on. Good for you, man.
Yeah. This is not normal hours for any work. You either show up really late on set or you show up super early.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is sitting around and waiting, and that's why friendships, like ours, develop. And that's really the best part of it, because you might bring a book. Hell, I watched, oh my God, so many different episodes of series of TV that I really was enjoying, or Netflix series and Stars and all of the other programs. When you don't have the camaraderie that a lot of us had, especially with Tommy's Mob, and then the fact that Ronald and I have worked together on a number of films, and there's just that chance to really make things happen when you do live close enough to a community like Wilmington. So there's a lot of people that have gotten into the film industry because of that. There's Charlotte and Raleigh. Charlotte more so than Raleigh. There's some filming opportunities in North Carolina, but the bulk of things really did move to Atlanta. So people that lived within those communities and moved there early on actually were lucky, because there's something going on every single day. And if you're not on one set, you're going to be on another. But Lee and I had thought about moving to Atlanta because he had lived there in part of his musical career and taught music at one of the colleges as well. But Atlanta isn't a town that I've really felt like I could have my heart in. It's a very busy town, kind of like DC. And once I left DC, I didn't really want to move back to a hub. But that's a lot of times what you have to look at is, if you're doing background, you can't really afford to pay for a hotel room and all of those different things. So you've got to find an option. Maybe it's a week you take off for vacation and fulfill your dream. Maybe that's something we could start with, a travel agency in one of the casting directors. And, you know, instead of going on an adventure trip, you go on a stand-in trip, and, you know, you work on a horror film for a week, and maybe you pay them to work on it. You know, wouldn't that be a hoot?
Right on.
But I wanted to really thank you guys again for, you know, this opportunity to share, you know, our point of view. I wish I had had a couple of the other guys on, but I realize lives, you know, can get really busy. And each, you know, Clark and Ronald both have very, very different aspects of the film work that they've been doing, and it's all important. It's just as important for the guys that and gals that serve the food that we eat, that, you know, that put the props in people's hands after they've spent hours, countless hours, collecting items to be used. You know, the people that make the houses look like they are, to set them up to burn, to keep safety, you know, going on a set, to just direct us, you know, as a difference of, you know, one background to 350 background, I think may have been the top number one day. And we had to use the convention center for our staging area. That's a lot of work that goes into play. And, you know, we can't even fathom, you know, what goes on the filming side of things. And I'm blessed to have had, you know, the opportunities that I've had and the doors that are now being opened. So like I said before, it's like, dream your dreams, you know, put yourself out there, get the training that you need, get the information that you need, connect with other people that are helping each other too. So,
You know, for me, I've learned the entire business, you know, when I started doing background, everything behind the scenes, all the way up to the stand-in. You know, I'm learning about camera lenses, what to use, tight shots, the camera angles, the 180-degree rule, crisscross, and, you know, I'm just learning, absorbing everything, the lighting, you know, as you can see, I've got my own set of lights here, you know, I'll show you. I use those for my auditions when I do auditions for movies. So, I mean, I've absorbed everything like a sponge in this business. As soon as I got on Swamp Thing, I mean, I just got hooked like a drug.
Right. It can't be. Yeah.
It's like a pure adrenaline rush for me. As soon as I get on a set, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just get amped up. And then when I get home after working 15 hours, I'm still amped up. When I get home, I can't get home.
That's awesome. Because the more you do, the more you get to do, kind of thing. So.
That's why I live with a musician, and we don't usually go to bed till 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning. But I wake up early and I don't get enough sleep. But so, Clark, was this something you always wanted to do in life?
Yeah, but you know what? When I lived in Ohio at the time, and there was not much filming. So, and when I moved here in May of 2013, and I had got my start in radio in Ohio, so I wanted to venture out and network doing that. So, I kind of fell in my lap, to be honest with you. I just got an email one day and said, "Hey, would you like to be on Sleepy Hollow?" And I still to this day don't know who submitted that for me. I always thought that was bizarre. You know, I thought at first it was a joke, because they are looking for bikers, I guess, Native American type bikers, and it was $500, a hotel room, and paid gas mileage based on your license. And I had Ohio license, because the lady's like, "You're not from here?" I was like, no, I just haven't switched my stuff over yet. I said, I'm still new. So, and once I got to Screen Gems, and the guy told me, "Hey, you just got to go there for a fitting." And I knew it was for real. That's when I knew it was real. And then I was, I just like anybody else, I was hooked. It was like, how do I get to do this or that? So the farthest I've filmed is Albuquerque, New Mexico for Independence Day 2. And that was a featured thing. I actually got flown out and back. So that was a grand total of a week of filming, a week off, and then a week filming. So, and then that was it. Wow. So I got to hang out with what's Helmsworth brother?
Oh, Chris Helmsworth, I think.
Chris, what's his Liam?
Oh, yeah.
Liam,
Thor's little
Liam,
brother.
Liam. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? When we were this is when he was dating Miley Cyrus, because he was talking. When we were walking out, he walked with us outside, just to go outside. He was on the phone. You could hear her actually with that raspy voice talking on the phone. So, yeah, I was like, oh, it's talking about me.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, and I had a fun time on that set too. So, but in a nutshell, man, if I could work on another horror movie, I would definitely, because you know you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Especially if you're getting murdered. And you can't say that. Hey, man, I gotta go to work and get killed, so I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So,
The FX guy
Yeah, I'd
comes
love
in.
to see
Today's a
more.
good day to die.
yeah, that's right, man.